weather.
It was a moment that changed the landscape of music forever and has been at the center of conspiracy theories ever since. And tomorrow marks 20 years since the deadly shooting of rap singer Tupac Shakur right here in Las Vegas.
And tonight we're hearing from two men who were on the front lines of the chaotic scene that night. They're speaking for the first time to the I-Team's Vanessa Murphy, who brings you this exclusive story.
Set to bring them together. Here we go, round one, scheduled for 12.
Fight night in Las Vegas on September 7th, 1996. Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon. But violence erupted outside the ring. Rapper and actor Tupac Shakur gets into a scuffle in the MGM Grand lobby, which is caught on camera. Moments after he leaves, he's shot in a drive-by.
Cop cars kept flying by, so we knew something was going on. We just started following them.
Right. Two young paramedics
I was driving.
Were working nearby.
I had been a medic for roughly 5 years.
I was 22 years old.
Jim and Shane, now Henderson firefighters, have asked us not to use their last names because they're concerned about their safety. They're speaking publicly about that night for the first time.
Jim and I did everything that we could and gave him every ample, but the general public doesn't know that.
The shooting death of Tupac Shakur remains unsolved. But 20 years later, Jim and Shane describe an effort to save the 25-year-old man's life here at the scene they stumbled onto.
The chaos, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of cop cars.
Just as we started looking at each other to decide what we were doing, Metro told us to come in. They were waving us to come in.
And then exiting their ambulance.
Somebody met me at the back and said, "Go help my buddy," and my buddy's shot in the car. So
which ended up being Suge Knight. Whole car, was riddled with bullet holes.
Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight was the driver of the BMW Shakur was gunned down in.
We brought the gurney up
over,
just pulled him out.
Pulled him out, and that's when, everybody was yelling, Tupac, Tupac, and I leaned over to the cop, and I go, this guy has the same nickname as that rapper. And the cop, looked at me and leaned over and was like, this is him.
Then a second patient.
We got word from PD that there was another guy that was shot in the head. Jim and I believe they walked him over to the ambulance. He got in, and it ended up being Suge Knight who was grazed on the head.
He wanted us to make sure that we took care of Tupac before him.
And then with 3 Metro police officers inside their ambulance and a police escort, not typical protocol, a ride to University Medical Center, followed by Jim telling Shane who their patient was.
I listen to country music. I never heard of Tupac Shakur. So it didn't register to me.
But soon after,
flashing police lights quickly replaced the bright lights of the Las Vegas Strip.
News reports, vigils, and more help put it all into perspective.
You were rooting for him to make it?
6 days later, Shakur died.
It's sad, and he had a lot going for him, and I'm sure he would still be making music today.
See no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?
The call, which they say lasted 14 minutes from start to finish, for them is unforgettable, just like Tupac Shakur is to so many.
When
I talked to him yesterday, we remember
Absolutely.
it like it was yesterday. I mean, we've run thousands and thousands of calls since that call, and we remember every detail like it was yesterday. Did you realize how much of an influence he really did have, and that how big of a deal it was? I guess I realize it more now than I did 20 years ago.
Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
And now Metro Police tell us Tupac's murder case is at a standstill. We've learned some people who may have been witnesses or somehow connected to the murder are deceased.